Hey y'all, I am back with another sponsored video. This one is about Black Moon Lilith in Leo, and I'm calling it the Dark Queen. This video has been sponsored by Kawaii Honey. Thank you, Kawaii, for sponsoring another video. And thank you for your patience with me getting this video out. As you're already aware, you've sponsored a number of videos. So I have some more of yours that I will be posting very soon. So thank you once again. So basically, you just wanted to know how Black Moon Lilith in Leo can manifest, as well as the square between your Black Moon Lilith in Leo and your Scorpio Ascendant. Now, before I get into Black Moon Lilith in Leo, let me just talk about Black Moon Lilith in general, because some people may not really understand what Black Moon Lilith is representing in your chart. So Black Moon Lilith is a hypothetical point in the heavens based upon a calculation involving the positions of the Earth and Moon. It is only faintly perceptible, but it is valid nonetheless. So a lot of times you're not even going to really perceive your Black Moon Lilith unless it's in a prominent place in your chart. So for instance, if you have Black Moon Lilith rising or Black Moon Lilith on your midheaven, or even in one of the angular houses, period. So that'd be the 1st, 4th, 7th, or 10th. You might feel it stronger than someone that has their Black Moon Lilith, say maybe in the 3rd or the 9th or the 12th. Also, if you have Black Moon Lilith in conjunction to a planet in your chart, you're more liable to experience the effects of Black Moon Lilith more so than someone that doesn't have that conjunction. When it comes to other aspects involving Black Moon Lilith, save for the opposition, the other aspects can be very faint as well in terms of your ability to perceive them. And a lot of times, aspects involving Black Moon Lilith will only show up on occasion in your life. Again, unless Black Moon Lilith is very prominent in your chart, such as it being rising or on the midheaven. So I just wanted to get that out there. So again, a lot of times people may not even, people that are into astrology, that is, they may not even really feel their Black Moon Lilith too keenly or experience it directly too keenly. A lot of times Black Moon Lilith will be projected onto others. So Black Moon Lilith is a dark lunar goddess who represents our shadow side, our hidden tendencies and latent desires. It is a symbolic point of rebellion, or it is symbolic of rebellion or a refusal to submit to the will of another. It is a my way or the highway point. Rejection is another theme that comes with Black Moon Lilith. Desperation is one of the feelings that Black Moon Lilith can emit. She can be the bad mommy, the bitch, and the battle axe. So Black Moon Lilith is deriving a lot of her traits from the myth of Lilith. And in astrology, you have 3 Liliths. You have Black Moon Lilith, Dark Moon Lilith, and then also the asteroid Lilith. Through my practice of astrology, I found that the asteroid Lilith tends to pack more of a punch, meaning it can be experienced more prominently or more directly, whereas Black Moon and Dark Moon Lilith are more shadowy, more what's the word? More subtle in terms of their expression. But yes, so Lilith has been given a negative connotation over the ages, namely because Lilith is representing Adam's first wife, you know, the whole Adam and Eve story, Adam's first wife, where she ended up not wanting to be submissive to Adam. So she basically broke away from him in order to be free. So being free spirited, but also being rebellious, being very willful, that is some of the representations of Black Moon Lilith. And a lot of times Black Moon Lilith will be demonstrating the negative traits of the sign that it's in. Black moon Lilith, dark moon Lilith, and the asteroid Lilith are associated with abortions, miscarriages, and the deaths of babies. So that always needs to be taken into account when we are looking at these Liliths. Now, it doesn't mean that they will always represent that in a person's chart, but that is one of the more prominent themes of Lilith. The tendencies of Black Moon Lilith are often projected upon others, principally women, due to an unwillingness to face this aspect of our beings. So, again, Black Moon Lilith is representing our shadow side, the side that we really don't want to show to the average person. Maybe people that are closest to us may see that part of ourselves, but a lot of times it is projected upon others in our lives. And it doesn't even have to be somebody that you're close to. It could be somebody that you have an encounter with on some day, and it basically just sticks out in your memory. Like, yeah, I remember I was at the store and this lady was acting a fool or whatever. She could be representing Black Moon Lilith. And it could be a negative trait that you have within you that you didn't even know you had until you're pushed to that point. Black Moon Lilith in aspect to planets and points in the chart can represent circumstances that force us to come to terms with our shadow side. You could say it is akin to holding a mirror up in front of you. Transits will trigger a response from Black Moon Lilith that could take you by surprise or reinforce an ongoing pattern in your life. Keep in mind that not every transit you experience to Black Moon Lilith you will actually feel, because a lot of times it can deal with things that are happening behind the scenes, or sometimes, like I said, that energy of Black Moon Lilith can be so subtle that a transit to Black Moon Lilith can go by without you even feeling it. So, for instance, let's say Mars in Libra is squaring Black Moon Lilith in Cancer. Your ability to be a good mother is being questioned again. Keep in mind that when it comes to planets in the chart, as well as these hypothetical points like Black Moon Lilith, a lot of times they will represent patterns in your life. So if you have Black Moon Lilith in Cancer, a pattern could be dealing with your ability to be a mother or a decent mother. So again, let's say transiting Mars in Libra is squaring your Black Moon Lilith in Cancer. Your ability to be a good mother is being questioned once again. CPS is knocking on the door. CPS stands for Child Protective Services. So that could be an example of how that is playing out. Keep in mind, though, if some situation like that is going down, there will usually be another transit of usually an outer planet interacting with some other planet that's representing the situation in the chart as well. So with all that being said, let's get into Black Moon Lilith and Leo in particular, in the 9th house, that is. So one of the things that could play out is being fully independent could be an unconscious aspiration. I'm saying aspiration because we're talking about the 9th house. Free love is a hidden desire. So with this being said, this could produce problems if you were to get married. So let's say you fell in love with somebody, you got married, but then next thing you know, you're getting all these temptations and urges to step out on your husband and start cheating. And that could be because that Black Moon Lilith in Leo is being activated. And with it in the 9th house, that's like free love. Like you want to love whoever you want, despite being married or what have you. Also, being fully independent could be an unconscious aspiration. So you might get married and then start acting out so that you could get a divorce. And again, this would be on an unconscious level. Also, your Black Moon Lilith in the 9th house in Leo explains your knowledge and focus on celebrities. And you could actually live vicariously through at least one celebrity or more than one celebrity. That's especially if you find that your life is not passionate or dramatic enough. Romance could seem far out of reach with Black Moon Lilith and Leo in the 9th house. Also, an unconscious desire for drama for philosophy's sake, learning through dramas, including the dramas that celebrities find themselves in, because Leo deals with celebrities, but it also deals with drama. And, celebrity and drama go hand in hand. But anyway, basically finding drama to be entertaining, but not just entertaining, but learning, using it for philosophy's sake. Matters of principle are interwoven in love affairs. Ethical or moral implications are the underlying theme with respect to love affairs, self-expression, and children. So, for instance, let's say you get married, you end up, that Black Moon Lilith kicks in where it's like, damn, I still want to be free to love who I want. Also, that ninth house can produce that FOMO situation where it's like fear of missing out. So again, let's say that you have an extramarital affair and then you get pregnant. So that could be a moral, ethical dilemma that you're faced with, because it's like now, and Leo deals with children. So it's like, oh God, I'm pregnant. I don't know if it's my husband's or if it's my side piece. Should I keep the baby or should I, get rid of it? You could be facing a situation like that. A Leo woman could display some of your latent, dark, or hidden characteristics such as vanity and narcissism. A narcissist could prompt you to learn about narcissistic personality disorder. Encountering dark-sided Leo women, especially in academic institutions, religion, spiritual groups, and through long-distance travel. So that could be a possible manifestation. A latent need to be admired or adored for your knowledge. Love and romance could be idealized. Could become starstruck or a fanatic over a celebrity. A lion or even a domestic cat could be your spirit animal or familiar. Let me know if you have a cat, Kawaii. However, if you have a cat, the cat could run away, because we're talking about Black Moon Lilith in Leo in the ninth house, and the ninth house is the runaway house. Women and children are a major theme. So, for instance, because the ninth house deals with long distance travel, you could encounter a woman that has bad kids while you're on a plane, and maybe you're trying to get some sleep. It's a 4-hour flight, and this woman got these bad kids with her, and they keep kicking the seat because they're sitting in back of you and making all this noise and crying, and one got a poopy diaper and you're smelling that and all that. So you could encounter situations like that. Desiring to relive or recreate your childhood. So that's another possibility. You may be overly affectionate when in love and you didn't know you had it in you. So if you fall in love with someone, you might actually be surprised at how expressive you are with your lover. And it might be a bit too much, because we're talking about the ninth house. Or it could be where you attract a lover who is putting it on a bit too much, who's loving on you a bit too much. And it's just like, damn, I need some space. Also, you could make a lover the end all be all, where they basically are your whole world. That's never a good thing. You may give too much of yourself when in love. And again, because Black Moon Lilith is so subtle, you may not even realize you're doing it until somebody points it out. Or you see somebody else doing it. Now, your unconscious need for a lot of attention is channeled through spirituality with Black Moon Lilith and Leo in the ninth house. Generosity could be a means of getting attention and praise. And your ego is tied to higher knowledge. So the more higher knowledge you obtain, the bigger your ego could become. But that's if, again, you're very much in touch with this Black Moon Lilith in Leo. But again, because Black Moon Lilith tends to be projected onto others, you could encounter people in the spiritual world or in the world of academia who have big egos. Okay, let's get into this square between your Lilith and Scorpio ascendant. Ego death is one of the possible manifestations of this square. And ego death is a complete loss of subjective self-identity. In death and rebirth mythology, ego death is a phase of self-surrender and transition, as described later by Joseph Campbell in his research on the mythology of the hero's journey. So basically, Leo is the ego. And like I was saying, that ego could be augmented through your acquisition of higher knowledge, through, becoming an adept even with a spiritual subject. Now, you might find the more you feed your ego that it ends up being more problems, more trouble than what it's worth. So then that Scorpio ascendant will kick in, and next thing you know, you're going through that ego death where you are basically shedding that ego and where you are basically dealing with the raw self. Sex Without Love makes me think of that song by Erykah Badu. You don't show no love. Now, it doesn't have to be coming from you where you just want sex without love. It could be a lover. So you might get into a love affair and then find out that it's just about sex and where you're not getting any love out the deal. And keep in mind that Scorpio is stronger than Leo. I know some Leos don't want to admit that, but Scorpio is a sign that is stronger than Leo. And just think about how easy it is to have sex without love. It's much easier to find yourself in a sexual union than to find yourself in a relationship where it's really based upon true love. Giving yourself over to a sense of futility due to suppressed free will. So Leo rules your free will, but when we're talking about Black Moon Lilith in Leo, you may not be exercising your free will as much as you need to. And Scorpio is the sign of futility. So you might give yourself over to a sense of futility as if you have no free will. No lover is good enough. So you might end up remaining single simply because you feel that there's no lover out there. Because remember, with that Lilith and Leo in the ninth house, you could idealize love a bit too much where you feel like no one is good enough for you. Feeling that you are unworthy of receiving love. Challenges with maintaining bonds due to a hidden need to remain independent. So basically, this is where Leo can end up winning out over Scorpio, because Leo is about independence and Scorpio is a dependent sign. And Scorpio deals with bonds. So sometimes Black Moon Lilith might win out over that Scorpio ascendant, where you end up breaking up with a partner or end up acting up if you're in a marriage or a relationship simply due to that unconscious need to remain independent. Refusing to compete with anyone. Now, Scorpio is basically above competition. So that Scorpio ascendant could kick in at times where there is a need to be in competition. There is a need to compete with others. Attempts to suppress desires. Jealousy over someone getting the spotlight. And it may not even be a blatant jealousy. It might be a jealousy that tends to creep up, and you may not even realize you have that in you until you're put in certain situations. Putting someone on a pedestal just to knock them off. Also, there could be an unconscious desire to abort pregnancies manifested through spontaneous miscarriages. So let me just give you a scenario. Let's say you get married, you're not too crazy about the idea of having children, but your husband really wants children. So, you agree to start a family. Next thing you know, you get pregnant and then you have a miscarriage. Why? Because you really didn't want to have a child anyway. And that Scorpio ascendant kicked in and got that baby out of there. may decide not to have children due to seeing what other women go through, such as that scenario I painted of the woman on the plane with the bad kids. That might teach you, yeah, I don't think I want kids in this lifetime. I don't think I want that responsibility. Now, if you have a child, you could end up resenting it. And again, it could be a hidden resentment. Also, this square could play out as unwanted attention. Also, you could be forced to do things against your will, but not fighting it and then stewing about it later. So that concludes my video on Black Moon Lilith in Leo. Please let me know what you think in the comments. I hope that this video provides you with more insight into Black Moon Lilith in Leo and the square that is forming with your ascendant. And thank you once again, Kawaii, for sponsoring this video. Stay tuned for more videos, and I will be going live very soon, so stay tuned for that. Thank you for being very patient with me. I had quite a bit of written work to do, so I'm done with that, and now I can go outside and play, and that means I can go live really soon. I know there's a lot of hot topics that I'll be getting into. If you, matter of fact, I'll be posting a post in the community tab soon where I'm going to be asking everybody to just provide some current events that you want me to discuss in the next live stream. So peace, many blessings. I'll be back soon.